Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Caffe Lena. Roy's here. He's chatting with table 5 right now. It's going to cost extra, yeah. So great to have you here. And so we've had a slightly sporadical series. Well, everything's been sporadical for the last 2 years, but this series, the Folk Heritage Series, is something we've done a handful of times in the past, and we're going to get really serious about it now because there is so much new music in the folk scene in general, but on this stage very much, brand new bands that have never played the area coming in all the time, and that's wonderful because it does grow the tradition. But these nights when we have somebody who's been with us for decades are just so precious to us now. And yes, for sure. And people who have really put in the time and given audiences all over the country and all over the world the gift of their talents for so many years are treasures, and they need to be celebrated. And so that's what this Folk Heritage Series is all about. And it was made possible by a couple of good friends of the venue who feel the same way and wanted to keep this going. So Roy was an obvious national treasure to include in this series, who came to this venue, I believe, for the first time in 1968, if I'm not mistaken, with Reverend Gary Davis. And so it's a beautiful thing to have him back on stage. Please sink back in time and enjoy this music, and welcome Roy Bookbinder.
Thank you very much. I thought it was 68 too. I think that's what I said in the Big Lena book when I got interviewed, but Mike Taub told me it was 69. And he was the dishwasher, so he knows. It's always great to be back. That pandemic thing is still roaring, but it was pretty scary for everybody. Really tough on a person that only comes to life when the spotlight goes on. I wish I was more creative during my time at home, but couldn't be. Did a lot of manual labor around the house and the yard and all that crap. My fear was that I would never get to perform again, and it was heartbreaking. Whew. But last year was okay for the spring. The summer was dead. I went home. And the fall was really good. All the big festivals did eventually happen, so that was important. But I miss my little clubs. It's the best. Thanks for coming. Get your ups and you get your downs. That's what it takes to make a full go around. I said, hey, hey, baby, you ain't so such much, you know. Ooh, I'm going back down south. Gonna leave all this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. Don't look back, mama, you might not like what you see. Oh, you're scheming and you're dreaming, never set your heart free. Hey, hey, baby, you ain't so such much, you know. Ooh, I'm going back down south. Leave all this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. Papa told mama how it's gonna be. Mama said, Papa, Daddy, you just wait and see. I said, hey, hey, baby, you ain't so such much, you know. Going back down south, leave all this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. Don't ask me no questions, I won't tell you no lies. I'm a hard-pushing papa and I can't be satisfied. Hey, hey, baby, you ain't so such much, you know. I'm going back down south. Leave all this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. Don't ask me no questions, I won't tell you no lies. I'm a hard-pushing papa, mama, and I can't be satisfied. Hey, hey, baby, you ain't so such much, you know. That's right, I'm going back down south. Leave all this rain, sleet, cold, and snow. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I had three friends. There were 5,500 of us on the aircraft carrier, but I never palled up too easy, so three was a pretty big number for me. And then when Joe got out, he gave me all these beatnik books. So I started reading them. It opened my eyes. I said, whoa, we didn't have books like that in my house when I grew up. And then as I got closer to getting out of the Navy, well, the kid from Oklahoma taught me some chords. We bought guitars in Italy, and they were echo guitars, not great, but, and I learned my 6 chords. I was doing pretty good there. I'd never heard about fingerpicking though, and when I was getting ready to get off the Navy, off the ship there in '65, I figured, well, you know, I read all the beatnik books and I got some chords, and that guy turned me on to the blues. I might be able to put this together into a life. Here I am, 65 years later. You can't make this shit up. So I'm at the beatnik party and I hear this thing. And I said, oh my God, what is that? Excuse me, twice I went over and started the record player. It kind of slowed the party down. They were all looking at me like I was some kind of weird veteran or something. And it ended up it was Dave Van Ronk. Well, I'd never heard of him. But I went out and got he had 3 albums out, I think. I got the 3 albums and I started struggling with that. And then there was this little kid there, a young guy, little kid. And now he'd be a little kid. But he looked a little like Bob Dylan, and he was finger picking. And I heard him, I said, whoa, how do you do that? He said, well, I could come over to your place. I could show you how to do this. I'll give you a little bit on, and he got me finger picking, which was pretty cool. And then Dave Van Ronk gave a concert at Pembroke University. That's where the women who were going to Brown, they had their own college on campus. They kept them separate, you know, like the Navy back then. And it just blew my mind to actually see Dave Van Ronk do it. Like he was doing all those Candyman. It blew my mind. He got off the stage and I was really freaked out. Nothing ever affected me like that in my life. And when he was getting ready to leave, I went out and met him by his car. He didn't drive, he had somebody drive him. He was a city boy, never drove. And I introduced myself and I said, I heard your music at this beat party and it blew my mind, and now I got to see and I got all 3 of your records. And he said, what do you do? I said, well, I'm going to reject, I'm going to college. I got out of the Navy last year. I said, but I'm going to be a blues guy. He said, well, good luck with that, you know. Thanks for enjoying me. And we went our ways. And 2 years later, I dropped out of Reject, and I was picking and grinning a little bit, and I had a job at the orphanage in the South Bronx. I needed a place where there would have room and board, you know. So I got a job there. I lived in an orphanage for a year and a half. It was pretty good. And they gave me Tuesdays off so I could play the hootenanny down at the Gaslight. And Dave Van Ronk was the host of the hootenanny. They'd put his name on, like after everybody got through doing their 3 songs, Dave would come down from the Kettle of Fish where he was holding court and drinking Irish whiskey. And that sold a few tickets. Nobody wanted to see us amateurs, people like Phoebe Snow and Richie Havens. We were all signing up to get 3 songs in on a Tuesday. I was the last one on that Tuesday. I don't remember the date, of course. But Dave Van Ronk walked in, and I was in the dressing room packing up my guitar. And Dave Van Ronk came back there, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I said, "Do you remember me?" And he looked at me and said, "I do, and you did." Became a blue sky. He took me back to his apartment where we drank a whole bunch of Irish whiskey and listened to guitar music and talked. And he suggested I hook up with Reverend Gary Davis, which I did. It's the only music I ever heard that I really thought I could do. I really had no aptitude for it. It's been a struggle. Learning every little thing was a struggle, but I stuck with it and I never changed my direction. Do anything in this God Almighty world, bring the candy man home. And it still tickles my ear to hear that. It's so much darn fun to do, you know. So I finally called up Reverend Davis and I got a guitar lesson for $5. I went over there and that was pretty cool. It was pretty scary. Because he was, it wasn't easy for me to learn anything from him, but I did the best I could. I got a little bit here and a little bit there. He said, "What could you play?" I played him the Candyman Blues. He said, "Good God Almighty, you sound like Dave Van Ronk." That was the nicest thing anybody had ever said about my guitar playing. I loved Reverend Davis for that. And ended up, Gary messed with my timing and all that, and ended up neither of them liked the way I played Candyman, but they're both dead and I'm still here, so I'd do anything in this God Almighty world to keep the Candyman home. Little red light, little green light, little red light, little green light, little red light, little green light. Well, I stop on the red and you go on the green and mess with Mr. In Between. Run to get the bucket, get the baby some beer. Run to get the bucket, get Dave Van Ronk. Run to get the bucket, get the baby some beer. Do anything in this God Almighty world to keep the Candyman home. I was at Yorma Calkin's guitar camp with Stefan Grossman, who was an early student of Gary Davis, and he heard me do that break of Candyman. I really did it perfectly then. I messed it up a little bit this time, but it doesn't matter. And Stefan said, "Did you make that up?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, where'd you get that from?" I said, "Reverend Davis showed me that when we went to Detroit back in '68. He said, "Really? I never heard Reverend Davis do that song." I said, "Well, he must have liked me better than he liked you." Big leg Ida, woo, big leg Ida, big leg Ida, big leg Ida. Doesn't matter if you're having fun. Run and get the bucket, get the baby some beer. I'd do anything in this God Almighty world just to keep the candy man home. Thank you. Thank you very much. My oldest blues playing friend now is my dear friend and everybody's dear friend, the Cafe's dear friend, Paul Jeremiah, who I visited twice in the last couple of weeks. I'm going to see him again in a couple of weeks coming up. And he said he's no doubt the greatest country blues, we'll call it, country blues guitar playing blues guy around, great harmonica in the rack, and songwriter, great songwriter. And he had a stroke and doesn't play anymore. And he's being well cared for, and he's in pretty good spirits. But it's so tragic. He wrote so many great songs, and he's so good that I wish I could figure out how to play some of his other songs. But this is the only one I got. It's called "Looking for Something Different." Looking for something different, not like the usual kind. I want a woman that can rock down to my soul, but got a disposition I don't mind, and it keeps me moving, keeps me worried all the time. For the woman that I need, well, I just ain't never found, just ain't never found. There was one sweet little woman, she certainly rocked down to my soul. Keep me standing outside of her door in the rain and the freezing cold, and it keeps me moving, keeps me worried all the time. The woman that I need, well, I just ain't never found, just ain't never found. One crazy little gal up north, she certainly rocked down to my soul. Try to keep me standing outside her door in the rain and the freezing cold. Keeps me moving, keeps me worried all the time. Go the woman that I need, just ain't never found, no, just ain't never found. One sweet little gal, rock down to my soul, keep me standing outside of her door in the rain and the freezing cold. Yes, it keeps me moving, keeps me worried all the time. You're the woman that I need, well, I just ain't never found, no, just ain't never found. Guess I'm gonna keep on looking for that woman that's so hard to find. Surely ain't gonna change my ways, and I ain't gonna change my mind. And it keeps me moving, keeps me worried all the time. The woman that I need, well, I just ain't never found. No, I just ain't never found. Thank you. Old Reverend Davis. Well, a nickel is a nickel and a dime is a dime. We got a house full of children, ain't one of them mine. Tell me how long must I wait? Must I hesitate? Well, I got hesitating stockings, I got hesitating shoes, I got a hesitating woman back home, and I got these hesitating blues. Tell me, how long must I wait? Can I get you now? Must I hesitate? The apples on the table, peaches on the shelf, looking for a woman, tired of sleeping by myself. How long must I wait? Can I get you now, mama? Must I hesitate? Ain't no doctor, I ain't no doctor, man's son, but I like to work on your case, sickly mama, till your doctor comes. Tell me, how long must I wait? Can I get you now? Must I hesitate? I used to dance with a woman that they called Sherry Red. When I got through boogieing, the fool fell dead. Tell me, how long must I wait? Can I get you now? Oh, Lord, must I hesitate? I didn't actually play here in '69. I drove Reverend Gary Davis and his wife, Mother Davis, in the church up here for Thanksgiving in November of '69. And Rosalie Sorrells was living at Lena's apartment. She had this huge apartment. And Lena had about 5 of her kids with her. It was a circus. And then they put us up in there too. She had a big apartment. It was a crazy weekend. And Thursday we did, the ladies all cooked something. Rosalie Sorrells cooked the turkey, I think, and Lena was making, it was something. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, used to be a 3-day gig. And he did 3 sets, and I was sitting in the back thinking like, wow, I hope I could play here someday. And I think I've played here. Back in the old days, you could play more than once a year. There weren't so many folk singers. It's like a plague now, but I think this is my 60th appearance. Hard to believe. My fans always ask me, who was a bigger influence on your life, Gary Davis or Pink Anderson? So I was talking to Jack, Ramblin' Jack, the other day. A month ago. It wasn't quite the other day. I like to talk to Ramblin' Jack once a month. He was one of my other heroes. He and Dave made the music their own, you know? They loved traditional music. They made it their own, and I really respected that. And plus, they were from, Dave was from Richmond Hill, and Jack was from Brooklyn, and I was from Queens. So it was like we were related almost. And and they became my pals. And if your idols, if your mentors and heroes become your pals, you really won the game of life. So I feel like a real winner. So anyway, I call up Jack, and it's always a long conversation because I have a hard time getting a word in. Between the two of us, it could drag on, you know. So finally, the hour was up, so I said, well, I got to run, Jack. He said, well, it was nice of you to call. I said, yeah. I said, you know, my fans have been asking me, a couple of the guys, they say, who was a bigger influence, Pink Anderson or Gary Davis? He said, good question. What's the answer? I said, well, actually, what I tell them, I said, it was David Ronk and you. Crazy. Here's what Dave recorded that back, it was a live album from Newport. He did 2 songs, and John Hurt was on it, and John Hammond. They were the only 2 white kids. And it's the first time I heard a Blind Blake song, and I liked it. Blind Blake was yet another blind guy. People ask me, how come there's so many blind guys? What's with that? I said, I don't like to get into politics, but it's all about poor health care for the poor. Bad health care. It was true. Gary could have seen that he had medication, and so many of them probably could have. There's that little lick that I first heard again in that song. God, that's fun to do. That'll never happen no more. That'll never happen no more. You know, I met a gal at a cabaret. She said, pretty papa, are you going my way? She was mad to know what it was all about. The girl took me home, that's right, just to kick me out. She broke my nose and she split my chin. She said she didn't want me round again. The girl chased me through the kitchen and into the hall. She beat me with a chair till my head got sore. That'll never happen no more. What? That's right. That'll never happen no more. My mama bought a chicken and she thought it was a duck. She put it on the table with its legs stuck up. Never. That'll never happen no more. Lived in Chicago in the winter and fall. Taught me to wear my overalls. I got drunk, it was my fault. I was used to eating pork chops without no salt. I met a sweet little gal with a big mink coat. A Cadillac car and a 40-foot boat. The girl pulled a gun, took my dough. I didn't holler and I didn't get sore. That'll never happen no more. That's right. That'll never happen no more. Apples on the table, peaches on the shelf. I'm looking for a new gal. I'm tired of sleeping by myself. Went to a party last Saturday night. I got into drinking. I was feeling all right. I lit up a reef and I smoked some gin. Ooh, I was sitting back waiting for the fun to begin. A sweet little gal come up on me. She said, hey, Roy, Daddy, let's... I woke up in an empty bed. My pocket there was empty and a pain in my head. That'll never happen no more. That'll never happen no more. That's right. That'll never happen no more. Danced with a woman that they called Sherry Red. When I got through boogieing, a fool fell dead. That'll never happen no more. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This guitar is 90 years old. I've always always had guitars older than me and wives younger. Oh, God, what a life, huh? You might think this is a tough way to make a living. It's not that tough. Sometimes when I go to sleep, I'll be snuggled up under my blankets in my in the bus, as we call it, at a Flying J truck stop, and think about life and think to myself, how did you ever dream this up? You couldn't have done it when you were 12. It's like a miracle. And I thank you all. It's nothing without you folks. Now I gotta remember what I did in the first set so I don't do it again. Well, I went down to a big crap game. It certainly was against my will. I lost every gosh darn nickel I had but a greenback dollar bill. $40 bet was on the floor, my buddy's point was 9. Police coming, they grabbed all of us, but I got mine. Yes, I got mine. I got mine. I got it all at good sport, people. I've been shooting dice all the time. Ever since the big crap game, I've been living over chicken and wine. I'm a leader to knock down society. You know that I got mine. I went to a turkey feed and the dinner was certainly fine. 15 minutes before the table got set, all the jolly bugs fell in line. When they brought those gobblers out, the rascals I did shine. Talk about a rascal I grabbed in. I got mine, yes, I got mine. I got mine. Got it all at good sport, like I said, I've been shooting dice all the time. Ever since the big crap game, I've been living over chicken and wine. A leader of the high society folks since I got mine. I just want to tell you about a man named Boone. His home was down here in Tennessee. You know he made his living stealing chickens and anything he could see. Pop-eyed man run so fast that fire did come from his heels. He burned up the cotton and he scorched the corn. He might as well have drove through the farmer's field. He was a traveling man. Certainly was a traveling man. He was the most travelingest man that ever was in that. Traveled everywhere. Yes, he was known for many miles around. Didn't get caught, never got whooped till the police shot him down. You know, the police hired an automobile. Purpose just to chase over. They were chasing him from 6 in the morning, that's right, till 7 the next afternoon. The pop-eyed man run so fast. Fire did come from his heels. He burned up the cotton and he scorched the corn. He might as well have drove through the farmer's field. He was a traveling man. Certainly was a traveling man, that's right. You know what I'm saying. He was the travelingest man in the land. Traveled everywhere, known for many miles around. Didn't get caught and never got whooped till the police shot him down. The boy went to the spring one day and get himself a pail of water. The distance that the rascal had to go couldn't have been more than 2 doggone miles, and the car they got there got his water. But when he started back, he stumbled and fell down. He ran to the house, got another bucket, caught the water before it touched the ground. He was a traveling man. Certainly was. That's right. You know what I'm saying. He traveled everywhere. He was known for many miles around. He didn't get caught, never got whooped till the police shot him down. That boy was on a Titanic ship. Yeah, it was going down. They say he was standing down by the port side and he had his head hung down. When he jumped overboard, people said he was a fool. About 2.5 minutes after that, the cat was shooting dice in Liverpool. He was a traveling man. Certainly was a traveling man. He was the doggonest, most travelingest man that ever was in that land. Traveled everywhere, known for many miles around. Didn't get caught, never got whooped until the police shot him down. You know, the police had an automobile. Purpose just to chase this cat. They chased him from 6 in the morning till 7:30. The next afternoon, the pop-eyed man ran so fast that fire come from his heels. Burned up the cotton and he scorched the corn. He might as well have drove through the farmer's field. He was a traveling man. Certainly was a traveling man. He was the most travelingest man, like I said, in the land. Traveled everywhere, known for many miles around. Didn't get caught, never got whooped till the police shot him down. Now the police pick it, Roy. Police shot him with a rifle. The bullet went through his head. People, they were coming from miles around to see the traveling man was dead. They telegram down southwest mama lived. She was upset, carried away with tears. She walked up and opened up the coffin's lid and the fool had disappeared. He was a traveling man. Certainly was a traveling man. Doggone it, he was the most... Yes, he traveled everywhere, like I said. He was known for many miles around. Didn't get caught, and he never got whooped till the police shot him down. Well, the police caught this traveling man at last, had him up to hang one day. The jurymen asked the traveling man, what do you have to say? Begged the jurymen to bow their heads, bow their heads in prayer. Cross one leg, and winked one eye, and he went up through the air. He was a traveling man. Certainly was a traveling man. He was the doggonest, most travelingest man. Get my point? He was a traveling man. Thank you. Boy, that espresso makes you play fast. Ooh, man.
A couple of the old geezers fell asleep, so Charlie woke up. Do that song again. Show business. Give it up? Hell no.
Tell me, honey, won't you tell me, please? Is my lover hard to please? I'm getting groggy in my knees. Baby, it must be love. Funny feeling oozing up and down my spine. To my head like sherry wine. It makes me think that the world's all mine. Baby, it must be love. I hear them church bells ringing. I see those visions clear. I hear those birdies singing, but there ain't no birdies here. Tell me, honey, won't you tell me, please? Is my lover hard to please? I'm getting groggy in my knees. Baby, it must be love. Funny feeling oozing up and down my spine. To my head like sherry wine. It makes me think that the world's all mine. Baby, it must be love. Hear the church bell ringing. I see those visions clear. I hear those birdies singing, but there ain't no birdies here. Funny feeling oozing up and down my spine. Did I sing that 3 times? Lord have mercy. This verse, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what happens in that verse. Oh, yeah. Made a preacher put his Bible down, made a rabbit hug a hound, made King Edward give up his crown. Baby, it must, baby, it must, baby, ooh, it must be love.
There it is. Baby, it must be love.
Thank you very much. This is the greatest place in the world. This is the only folk music club where, well, number one, besides the great audience and the ambience and the great employees and the great audiences, they saved the big parking place for me. I don't have to worry in this crowded little city. Number two, they got a dressing room there that's got a washer and a dryer. You could do your laundry while you're doing the show. Take a break, put it in the dryer. Before the gig, you could take a shower back there. And if you didn't have a tour bus, you could sleep back there. There's not another gig like that in the country, I tell you. I'm going to do, this is the first song I ever recorded in 1967 when I was 11. A fella heard me playing at an open mic at the Gaslight Cafe on McDougal Street. Yeah, it was McDougal Street, and Bleeker's over there, right. And I did this song. It was he put out old blues records, and then he started putting out live people. And he was the first anthology. I did one song, and it was a Jimmy Rogers song. It was very influenced by blues play, and he was a hillbilly singer. The first country artist to sell 100,000 records during the Depression. He recorded in Bristol, Virginia, along with the Carter family, and they sold 100,000, and they both became huge stars. And poor Jimmy died of TB, but his music has always been in catalog with RCA Records since the 29 or whatever, 28, one of those years. And you know, there were 78s, and then there were 45s, then there were albums, then there were digital stuff. They were 8-tracks and on the way. Unbelievable, unbelievable. But this is, I still love this song. I still play most every song I've ever learned. It's hard to learn a song. So I tell the young people, you know, you're doing too many things you don't really love. You got to really love it like you're going to play it for the rest of your life. And after about 40 years, you really got it down and you know what you're doing. You don't want to play a new song. It takes about 20 years to really get it down. I had an old friend named Campbell. Campbell used this microphone to slip down there. I could see it. It's supposed to be up here. All right. Take two. I had an old friend named Campbell. Campbell used to steal and gamble. Made his living, he was cheating all the while. Had a little game, he called it yoka. Sometimes they called the darn thing poker. He thought he was the smartest dude in town. I remember looking at somebody in the audience. That was through me. Wow, you got some beautiful people out there. There we go. Well, I went to town last Friday, and I met a little gal named Lighty, and I thought she was the prettiest gal in town. Ooh-wee. She began to spend my money. I began to call that gal honey. We went into a swell cafe and we sat down. Well, folks, I was really in it. I was spending every minute buying port wine, whiskey, and homebrew by the quart. When I did go to pay that man, ooh, I found that lady's hand in my pocket where my money was. She's in the jailhouse now. She's in the jailhouse now. They told that judge to his face that lady's hand was out of place. Ooh, she's in the jailhouse now. Now I remember last election, all the folks was in action, ooh, trying to get themselves another president. Along come my brother by the name of Bill Austin. He walked from Saratoga Springs east to Boston, trying to find an honest sentiment. You know that my brother Billy was a voter, big promoter, like I was saying. That's right. Yeah, I remember last election, all the folks they was in action, trying to get themselves another president. Billy went to the polls and voted across the very top row, but instead of voting once, that fool, he voted twice. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. I told that judge to his face. And then I told him he voted twice instead of once. I've done this song so many times, this is really strange. We'll rock it. Let the band take a verse. Ooh, mama. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. I told Billy back at home, he better leave the doggone politicians' business alone. He's in the jailhouse now. And I'm very sad about that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, baby. We'd go to visit her friends for dinner or something. She got a lot of friends, and she said, "Oh, did you have a good time?" I said, "Well, it could have been worse." She said, "Oh, you're so it didn't mean anything by it, but she said, "You're so negative." And then I wrote this song, "It Could Have Been Worse." It was the biggest requested song on the new album. So there you go. My good gal left with another man. I won't be missing her raising, saying she ain't good looking and she don't dress fine. The girl can't cook and she's always lying. Could have been worse, they say. Could have been worse, you know. Could have been worse, just wait. Oh, shucks. Could have been worse. Her mama don't like me, she told me so. In my business, sticks and nose. She'll pop in, doesn't have a clue, and she'll catch us doing the dippity-doo. Could have been worse, they say. Could have been worse, you know. Could have been worse, just wait, oh shucks. Yes, it could have been worse, they say. Could have been worse, you know. Could have been worse, just wait, oh yeah. She likes her whiskey and she likes her wine. She's smoking them reefers all the time. She gets so high, can't hardly stand it. She can't remember that I'm her man. Could have been worse, they say. Could have been worse, you know. Could have been worse, just wait, yeah. She's telling stories on all her friends, who's doing who to what, where, and when. Can't keep her mouth shut, that's for sure. If she hears some trash, she just wants some more. Could have been worse, they say. Could have been worse, you know. Could have been worse, oh shucks. It could have been worse, you'll see. Yeah. That's a good one. Gonna try to do you the New Age Woman Blues. I wrote this for my first wife. May she rest in peace in Biloxi, Mississippi with a new husband.
That's a good one. There's a lot of words for an old guy to remember. A
lot of my songs are getting shorter, I notice. I think I had all the verses there. I'm going to do you another song and a half, and then we're going to take a little break. And of course, I thank everybody, all the volunteers. You got to have a lot of volunteers to keep folk music alive. God bless them. God bless them all. God bless them all. And the terrific sound man Joe's doing a great job. He's been doing it for years. He knows what he's doing. You would think it's really simple to just mic a guy that has an old guitar and a microphone in front of it, but a lot of people can't do it. You know, they go to college now to learn how to work sound and everything, and they get all this fancy equipment, and they can't deal with the simplicity of it. I always like just a simple setup like Hank Williams used to use, you know. Here's another one from the new album. I call this one What You Gonna Do. There have been a few songs called What You Gonna Do, but they're all uniquely different. It's a good title. What you gonna do when your baby said you're gonna pack up and go? What you gonna do when a gal you love said that she don't want you no more? Well, you can run, you can hide, you can catch a freight train. You know the life that you was leading's never gonna be the same. What you gonna do when your baby said you're gonna pack up and go? What you gonna do? Down on your luck, you got your money on a pony, won't run. What you gonna do? You're down to your last buck. You know that you just can't buy yourself no more fun. You know it should have happened. You know it could have been. You know the doggone pony could have got there, but your pony didn't win. What you gonna do when your baby said you're gonna pack up and go? What you gonna do? You get a call from the bank. Get out, the house you live in ain't your home. What you gonna do to take your automobile and they leave you standing on the street all alone? Well, you can tell your ma, you can tell your pa, they never want to see you back in Arkansas. What you gonna do when your baby said you're gonna pack up and go? Yeah, what you gonna do when your baby? What you gonna do? You come to find out your baby's been stepping out on you. What you gonna do? You finally see the light, you realize that you never had a doggone clue. She used to drive you all day to go drive you all night, ride you all night, fuss and fight. What you gonna do when your baby said you're gonna pack up and go? What you gonna do? Just gotta tell you, I couldn't have had a better time tonight. Told me, you know my papa told me too. The good book's got the answers, that's right. It's going to tell you what to do. The good book's got the answers, you just wait and see. The good book's got the answer there, just for you and me. sing and dance, you better work and play real hard. Watch your step along the way on your journey to the stars. Don't you be a cheater, don't be telling lies. The straight and narrow path you're on will take you to the prize. Yes, my mama told me, Papa told me too. The good book's got the answer, that's right, you know it's going to tell you what to do. The good book's got the answer, you just wait and see. The good book's got the answer there, just for you and me. Be good to the children, the old and feeble too. Don't be doing to others what you don't want done to you. Mind your own business, keep singing a happy song. You know, a soldier in God's army always knows what's right from wrong. And don't be wanting what's not yours. Give thanks, you got a lot. You ain't never gonna miss what you don't have or get from them that's got. Fussing and a fighting, you know that's not the righteous way. You just best be quiet if you got nothing good to say. Thank you. Not for Reverend Davis, I would have never come to the Caffe Lena, amongst other things. Again, thanks for coming. I'm going to tell you a story about a man I once knew. He was a blind street singing preacher that played some blues. Fingers picked the guitar, they made magic chords. Past his days, he was just singing and waiting on the Lord. People heard his message and they came from miles around. His pulpit was on the streets up in Harlem and sometimes way downtown. Preacher picked the guitar, his hands made those magic chords. Past his days, he was singing and waiting on the Lord. One day the angels heard him sing and thought he should be heard. They opened ears around the world so he could spread the word. Yes, his fingers picked the guitar, they danced up and down the board. Past his days, he was always waiting, singing, waiting for the Lord. You know, he sailed across the ocean to London and to France, thanking Jesus every day for giving him this chance. And the preacher picked the guitar, his hands made those magic chords. Past his days just singing and waiting on the Lord. One day his voice was quiet as time had come. Knew where he was going, where he had just come from. That's right, his fingers picked the guitar, danced up and down the board. Passed his days just singing and waiting on the Lord. Told you a story about a man I once knew. He was a blind street singing preacher that could play some blues. Fingers picked the guitar, danced up and down the board. Past his days, he was always singing, waiting on the Lord. Take a short intermission. Thank you.